Hi everyone, thank you for joining us one final time in the Wormhole Hackathon powered by Encode Club for a very exciting finale. Today we have 10 finalists who are going to pitch to the Wormhole team and the Encode Club community, and we're going to find out who's won the main track and the feedback track bounties. It's very exciting. We'll also have Urban from the Wormhole Foundation come up and tell us a bit about the Sigma Startup Program and all the exciting things happening in Wormhole, including the accelerator, which is being run by Encode Club very soon. This is going to be very fun, so I can't wait to get started. So first of all, I'm going to invite Omji up to join me, who is joining us on a national holiday in Germany. Because she is just so excited to see what our finalists have to pick, and she wants to come and say hi.
So all the hackers are good to see you again. Especially like this is really amazing moment after like a weeks of your hard work. We're gonna see your project with amazing, audience here together to see your hard work paid out. And of course, this is a part of grand plan that all of you, as you know, that like we're gonna have like upcoming like global programs of like with Wormhole team, we can have accelerator program as well. So there are going to be a bunch of opportunity ahead of you, which I will not spill like too much information yet, as Wormhole team going to be also sharing all the details with you. But what I want to say is like everyone well done, and all those who are attending this finale, either you made it to finale as a finalist or not. This is just a step within your like a big journey. We have seen so many developers last like 3-4 years that they come to first hackathon, maybe didn't win anything, but they were interested in specific SDK, keep building. Next hackathon, they want more bounty going further. And once they start to work at protocol they really like, or they even found their own project. So what I want to say is like thank you everyone who joined today and who have been working with us during the hackathon. And please continue this journey. We will be here. And I'm really looking forward to all of you, your project, where you're going to be in the next 2 years. I'm sure some of you are going to be super big and coming back to give a workshop to future hackers and so on. So this is always my favorite moment to see your kind of first, fly and seeing that all your baby projects going to be introduced to the world. So everyone, thank you again. I'm very excited, and see you soon.
Thank you, Omji. Right, so now we also have Urban from the Wormhole Foundation, who is going to come up and greet you all, the finalists and also the Encode Club community. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic to be here. I mean, honestly, I don't have much to say at this point. I do share Omji's sentiment. I've been personally working with Encode Club and you guys for years at this point, and it's just fantastic to see some of the community members come along and actually dive into the Web3 space full time, whether that's it doesn't really matter in which ecosystem that happens, but it's just fantastic to see all of these journeys that people take. Some go the founder route, some get a job, some stay kind of on the, let's say, part-time involvement, just being, let's call it Web3 curious. But it's good to see. It's really good to see people are making progress, and hopefully these programs and projects that we're putting together do make a difference, right? Because that's truly what actually matters at the end of the day, making a difference in somebody's life, making somebody's life better. And as much as this might seem, oh, it's just a hackathon, oh, it's just an education series. No. We actually take this very, very serious because it does impact people's lives, and it does change somebody's life, hopefully for the better. So I do share Omji's sentiment. I'm looking forward to not just today, but also tomorrow, next week, next year, next couple of years, to see what people end up building, what people end up doing, and hopefully I share the stage in the future with somebody that came through some of these programs. So yeah, super excited to be here. Thank you very much for having us, and always a pleasure working with Encode. Obviously, it's just fantastic working with you guys. So huge shout out to Omji, Anthony, Rebecca, and everybody behind the scenes who's maybe not as visible. So yeah, huge thank you.
Thank you so much. That's so kind. Yeah, we're really, really excited to be here today. And you're right, you might be sharing the stage with someone who's presenting today in the finale. So on that note, we're going to get started. So I'm going to invite our first speaker to the stage and I'll explain a bit about what's going to happen. We have 10 finalists here today, 5 for the new project bounty and 5 for the integration bounty. They're all mixed up and they're all ready to pitch to you. Each project has 3 minutes to show you what they've been building and why it's so cool. And we're going to get started with Worm Deployer, which was built by Sumit.
Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Sumit Kumar, and I'm excited to introduce Worm Deployer, a multi-chain smart contract deployment tool designed for seamless and efficient cross-chain deployments. It enables single transaction multi-chain deployment with deterministic addressing using create to opcode. Worm Deployer currently supports both Hard Hat and Foundry development framework. This makes Worm Deployer accessible and easy to integrate into existing developer workflow. You can use Worm Deployer as an NPX CLI tool by running npx Worm Deployer, or you can clone the repo and follow the README to create a local binary and use the Worm Deployer command for your deployment utilities. Now I will give you a brief demo of Worm Deployer POC. So after running Worm Deployer command, you can select the contract to deploy and select all the combination of chains. And once you do that, Worm Deployer can automatically fetch the private key from .env in your project routes and display all the necessary deployment info. And after putting the create to deployer salt and contract constructor argument with its type, you can broadcast this transaction to wormhole protocol, and you'll get a computed address of your contract. So this is the contract which will be deployed across all chain, and you'll get a wormhole scan link to check the progress of your transaction. So as you can see, the transaction currently is in progress. And once it gets completed, you will see that the contract will be deployed across all the chain with the same address that was calculated earlier by Worm Deployer. So this was the brief demo of Worm Deployer. Now, so why should developer prefer Worm Deployer over traditional deployment scripts? Developers can deploy contracts to a different chain and pay the gas fees in any other chain's native token. Worm Deployer eliminates the need to write complex traditional deployment scripts. User can deploy contracts to multiple chains with just one transaction and a few simple commands. All in all, Worm Deployer aims to reduce developer overhead and streamline the multi-chain contract deployment and maintenance using Wormhole protocol. Currently, Worm Deployer is under development, but people are still using it, evident from its download in NPM registry. So for the future work, I am currently working on making the contracts mainnet ready, expanding the multi-chain support, introducing batch deployments of contract, and automatic contract verification on different chains. So yeah, this was my project Worm Deployer for Wormhole Hackathon. Thank you for your time, and a special thanks to Encode Club and the Wormhole Foundation for the opportunity. I am open to feedback and would love to hear from you. You can check out my project at this link and also follow me on Twitter. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Feel free to put those links in the chat for anyone who is interested in checking out more about your project.
Sure,
I'm going to send you backstage now. Thank you for that pitch.
Thank you.
Next up, we are going to have Battle Royale, and we have Anirudh presenting.
Yeah, so hello everybody. My name is Anirudh, and today I'm going to present my project Battle Royale. So Battle Royale is a cross-chain multiplayer game which is currently live on Arbitrum and based Poly testnet. Next is problem statement. So we are trying to build a game where users can basically transfer their progress or game assets from one chain to another chain. So we are trying to solve the game data fragmentation and limited chain flexibility problem in the game. So in order to solve this, we are using Wormhole for cross-chain messaging. So we will see that in details in this slide. So how it works is in source chain and destination chain, we will have a game, our game contract will be deployed. So what we will do is we will transfer our game asset data from game contract to Wormhole relay contract. So there will be a Wormhole off-chain component that will listen to the events that are emitting in the Wormhole relay contract. It will pull the game asset data from that contract and push it to the Wormhole relay contract. From Wormhole relay contract, we will send the game asset data to the game contract, which is there in the destination chain. So this is how the game asset transfer will work using Wormhole. So next is the demonstration. So for this demonstration, I'm using two accounts. On my left side, I'm using the which is the player 1 account, and on the right side, it's the player 2 account. And players can basically have two moves, attack or defense, and the result will be declared by comparing the attack power and the defense power. So as you can see, currently I'm initiating a attack from my first account, and I'm doing the same thing from the second account. So the winner will be declared by comparing the attack powers. So that was regarding the gameplay. This game also has a feature which is cross-chain game asset transfer, which uses wormhole that we just discussed in the previous slide. So currently I'm on R base supported testnet, and these are the game assets that I currently own. So what I will do currently is I will transfer this second game asset from base chain to Arbitrum supported testnet. So this is the transaction to basically initiate the cross-chain transaction that we will see in wormhole scan right now. So I'm just confirming the transaction. And once this transaction completes, we will get a hash that we can check it on the wormhole scan explorer, where we can see the status of the cross-chain messaging. Basically the cross-chain messaging part. So this is the explorer where you can see the cross-chain messaging transaction. Once this transaction is completed, the game asset will be playable on the Arbitrum Sepuli testnet as well. So that was regarding the game asset transfer demonstration. Future scope. So we're in future we are trying to make this game omni-chain, and we will try to add the matchmaking panel for the game. So that was regarding the presentation. So you can play the game on this URL, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, if you want to share the URL in the chat for anyone who's interested, I'm sure some people would like to take a look.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to the next project, which is zk-Lokomotive.
Hello everyone, I'm Baturak Güvenç. I am one of the founders and developers of zk-Lokomotive. Today I'm here to tell you what we do. zk-Lokomotive is an zk-based private file transfer system designed to operate seamlessly cross-chain. After we started developing the project, we attracted a lot of attention and started to make several partnerships. However, we have won many hackathons globally and locally. Together with our direct competitors, we see the market size and growth rate, and these are very high figures. We plan to share the market of our non-direct competitors with our privacy-oriented solution. We are confident that data transfer will be used as long as there is internet, and we are the most secure way to send and store data. So you can see the biggest disadvantages of traditional file transfer applications or protocols on screen right now. But isn't there a way to close all these gaps? The product should not be you and your data. Our solution is to ensure that you can do this on all networks while proving who the data comes from and that it is the right data with cryptological algorithms. As you can see in our demo, after connecting our wallets on two different networks, we select our file and send it to the target network with warm host layers. Although we do not make any upload to RWeave in our demo, the codes that we can upload files to RWeave and get hashed are live in our repository. In the last part of the demo, we actually transmit the file to the other party quickly, but you should not be mistaken about this. Since there is currently no signer process for the demo, we can say that it stops too fast. The zk-Lokomotive system architecture is designed with modularity, scalability, and cross-chain interoperability at its core. Below is a detailed breakdown of the system components and their interactions. In short, after encrypting the hash of the file uploaded to RWeave with zk, we transmit the encrypted hash and key to the recipient via wormhole, and all this happens on-chain. So why wormhole? We have integrated wormhole technology to enable secure cross-chain hash transfers and messaging between EVM and non-EVM blockchains. We plan to charge a platform fee in the early period, but in the future, we plan to switch a subscription-based model for B2B. Together with our teammates, we have been developing this project for several months. The MVP of the project will be released shortly, and in the future, there will be a B2B service and much more network support via wormhole. We are thinking about listing on places like CoinGecko for 2025. We will also apply to Y Combinator at the beginning of the 2025. And thank you for listening me.
Thank you very much for that presentation, Batu. I'm going to move you backstage again now, and we'll move on to our fourth project of... Hi, Kamal.
Hello. Hello everyone, my name is Kamal and welcome to MultiChainDefi, because the future is multi-chain. So we would be quickly going through the problem statement, the solution, the features, and then a quick demo. So here are the three key problems that we have focused to solve by our solution. The first being the fragmented liquidity. The traditional lending and borrowing platforms often limit users to a single blockchain, restricting their access to liquidity and yield opportunities. The second is of the complex cross-chain transactions. Navigating multiple blockchains can be cumbersome and confusing, leading to user frustration and potential errors. And these are not simple errors, but DeFi errors, which mean that they involve financial. The third being limited flexibility. Users often face challenges when trying to manage their assets across different chains, particularly when it comes to repayments and redemptions. So we built the solution, which is MultiChainDefi. What does it mean? The multi-chain lending and borrowing platform empowers users to manage their assets across various blockchain networks. We are leveraging the Wormhole hub and spoke model. The platform allows for seamless interactions between various blockchains. So we have deployed the hub contract on the Ethereum Sepolia and the spoke contracts on other chains like Arbitrum, Optimism Sepolia, and Base, thereby enabling our users to perform lending, depositing, repaying, and redeeming activities efficiently. Here are the key features that we are providing, like you can lend on multiple chains, you can do cross-chain deposits, so you can easily deposit assets into different chains, maximizing your yield opportunities and diversifying your portfolios. The flexible repayment option. So let's say you deposited on Optimism and then you borrowed something on Base Sepolia, but then you can just repay from another chain. So we are just abstracting away the chain. So that helps us with flexible repayment option. And then we have instant redemption. So you can redeem your assets across any chain. No, it doesn't matter on which chain you had deposited. So the chain abstraction. Then we have the feature of automated liquidity rebalancing across chains. So when a spoke requires more liquidity than it currently holds, the hub initiates the redistribute function, thereby ensuring that each spoke contract maintains sufficient liquidity. So we have an algorithm for that, and we have written function in the smart contract. Now here is a quick demo of depositing. So here we have all the spoke contracts and all the token value balance. And here if you have a liquidity graph, which rebalances after you do some operations like deposit, withdraw, borrow, and repay, you can see that we have four functions like depositing. Currently, I'm connected on Optimism Sepolia. Now I would be showing you the deposit function. Now here I would be just selecting the amount, selecting any chain. I can select any other chain also like Base, Arbitrum. Here I'm selecting the Optimism Sepolia chain. Now I would just click on execute function. My MetaMask would pop up. It's the UX is very smooth. And within seconds, you will see that I would have deposited my tokens on Optimism. And here, let's verify it on the Explorer. This is the Optimism Explorer. We see that our transaction went successful. And here I have deposited 145 of the multi-chain token to my spoke contract. Okay, now let's see the borrow functionality. And you will notice something very, so here you can see that currently I would select Base Sepolia this time for borrowing, like I selected 123 for borrow. And now I would be just, so it would automatically ask me to change the chain to Base, and then I would be executing the transaction, and this is a borrow transaction. And as you can see that the UX is so smooth that the user never feels like he's on a different chain when doing a different transaction. So here I have done the borrow transaction, and we would again go and confirm the transaction on the Explorer. We would see that this was like a request borrow function. And so here the spoke contract would relay the message to the hub contract, since this is a borrow function, and the hub contract would see that, yeah, it's the correct transaction. And by that, that our transaction would go successfully. There are more features coming, like dynamic loan to value ratios and auto liquidation for under collateralized loans. And we're working on more features to add in our multi-chain DeFi, as we believe that it is of real value to the users. This is our team, Abhishek and me. We have been blockchain developers for a lot of years. We have collectively won like 30 plus hackathons, and we are looking to add more value to the system. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you very much, Kamal, for presenting about multi-chain DeFi for your team. We are going to move you backstage now and move on to trying Wormhole-aptos-native-token-transfer once again with Justin. Hi, Justin.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Let me introduce my hackathon project, Wormhole-aptos-native-token-transfer. Wormhole NTT, it is open, flexible, composable framework for transferring both fungible tokens and non-fungible tokens across blockchains without liquidity pools. NTT preserves token ownership of your token, upgradability of your token, and the customability of your token. NTT also backward integrates with any kind of token, so you can preserve the customer logic for a protocol that's built in directly to a token already. For example, governance, staking, liquidity, staking stablecoins, and even NFT. NTT is not another token standard. It is a framework that is open source, flexible, and composable. Since it is open source, anyone can use it. You can integrate NTT directly into a DeFi protocol. You can also add your own specific business logic. Now, NTT supported blockchains are EVM-based blockchain like Ethereum Arbitrum-based, BSC, Optimus, and so on. And another is Solana-based VM. Wormhole-aptos-NTT project brings new supported blockchains, Aptos and Sui. As you can see from the Wormhole scan, Sui and Aptos occupied about 26% of the whole Wormhole's cross-chain message volume. The project is based on Move smart contract language. Move is a safe and secure programming language for Web3 that emphasizes scarcity and access control. Any assets in Move can be represented by or stored within resource. Scarcity is enforced by default as struct cannot be accidentally duplicated or dropped. Only structs that have explicitly been defined at the bytecode layer as copy can be duplicated and drop can be dropped, respectively. Access control comes from both the notion of accounts and multi-access privileges. In Move struct defined with abilities with key as resources, it cannot be copied and dropped. This picture shows NTT cross-chain message from Aptos to Sui. And this picture shows NTT cross-chain message from Sui to Aptos. Thanks for your listening.
Thank you very much, Justin, for your pitch about Wormhole-aptos-native-token-transfer. I'm always going to mess that up. Thank you very much. I'm going to send you backstage again now, and we'll move on to our sixth pitch of the day, which is Carbify.
Hi, my name is Bort from Kalmia. I will present the Carbify integration. Carbify is an eco-fi project. It's planting trees in Amazon rainforest. There are over 200,000 trees, and trees have their own NFT digital twins. They do the CO2 absorption, which is tracked on blockchain. We have at the core of the Carbify, we have NFT trees, which generate ACO2. We have land plots and CBI. Now, the previous architecture had the following contracts: ACO2 pools, NFT tree batch, land plot, marketplace, CBI, and certificates. For the cross-chain communication, we will have ACO2 and ACO2 pools on base network, NFT tree batch, land plot, and marketplace can be used on any chain. We will have CBI on Polygon and Moonbeam network. We will have certificates on Polygon network and hub contract on Moonbeam network for claiming. Now, as the complete solution is too complex, we will only present ACO2 claiming. In the previous architecture, we had ACO2, which holds the logic and emission rates for NFT tree collection. And we had NFT trees, and everything was deployed on Polygon network. Now, in the new architecture, we have a hub contract, which is deployed on Moonbeam. We have ACO2 contract, which is deployed on Base, and we have NFT trees. There are multiple batches which can be deployed on any chain. So now what the features? We have minting on NFT trees on any chain. We can claim ACO2 tokens on Moonbeam and Base. We have all ACO2 tokens now only on Base chain. Hub contracts now holds the trees state, and we have minting and transfer. When minting and transfer, we have a cross-chain communication which is made to update the state of the tree in the hub, and the claim checks this hub state and rewards CO2 tokens based on this. Now let me show you how this looks on the Carbify dashboard. We first buy NFT tree on Polygon, and this NFT tree will start doing the ACO2. Now we buy also the NFT tree on Moonbeam, and we first approve it, then we also buy it, and we have both of them. Now they both generate ACO2. Now this ACO2 can later be claimed, and with the claim function, which is on Moonbase. Now when the claim is done, we can see the actual transaction later. So we first initiated the transaction on Moonbase Alpha. We can see that there are two different chains involved in these transactions. Now we have the complete wormhole scan, wormhole transaction between Moonbase Alpha and Base Sepolia, and later we have on Base Sepolia the transfer of the tokens. Now this was the short presentation. Thank you for listening. We have much more details explanation in the video below if you're interested. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, please put those links in the chat for anyone who is interested to look at your code base and your YouTube longer demo video. Okay, now we're gonna move on to pitch number 7, which is Wormhole-kit. And we have Hei-jin presenting for the Wormhole-kit team. Hi, Hei-jin.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us again today.
Hi, it's good to see you again. Hello, everyone. I'm Hei-jin Chung, and I'm excited to introduce Wormhole-kit today. Our presentation is titled Beyond the Event Horizon, Opening New World, highlighting how Wormhole-kit is paving the way for a seamless multi-chain future. Wormhole-kit is simplified the complex process of working with multiple blockchains, aligning with Wormhole's vision of enabling a seamless multi-chain experience. By streamlining integration, Wormhole-kit makes it easier for developers and users to navigate the diverse blockchain ecosystem. Wormhole-kit is developed using the Wormhole TypeScript SDK and consists of two main packages. The first is Wormhole-kit Core, which excludes any UI component, allowing seamless integration into an React-based decentralized application. The second package, Wormhole-kit, includes two modal components, Transfer and Redeem, along with Wormhole-kit Core, enabling developers to quickly integrate Wormhole's feature into their dApps. As the blockchain ecosystem continues to diversify, developers face the challenge of integrating multiple chains, while users struggle with managing multiple wallets, gas fees, and various interfaces. To address this issue, we introduced the concept of user experience simplification and developer experience simplification. By hiding the complex technical aspect, Wormhole-kit allowed the developers to easily integrate the various chains and provide the users with a smooth, consistent experience without unnecessary complexity. Wormhole-kit benefits both developers and users. Developers can focus on innovation without dealing with multi-chain complexity. Wormhole-kit handles back-end processes, simplifying infrastructure and enabling quick integration into React-based dApps. Additionally, it ensures robust security and reliability through Wormhole TypeScript SDK. For users, Wormhole-kit provides an effortless way to manage assets across multiple blockchains through a single unified interface. It provides a consistent user experience, reduces transaction costs by optimizing gas fees, and enhances accessibility for broader audience. In conclusion, Wormhole-kit is a crucial tool for realizing the future of a multi-chain ecosystem. It empowers developers to innovate without infrastructure constraints and enhances the user satisfaction with seamless, efficient experiences. Together, developers and users can leverage Wormhole-kit to build a more interconnected, robust, and user-friendly blockchain ecosystem. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for that pitch on Wormhole-kit. Okay, moving on now to pitch number 8, which is Wormhole Name Services. We have Tomiwa coming up to join us.
Hello, guys.
Hey, thanks for joining us again today.
I'm Tomiwa Adeyemi, the founder of Kiwi Protocol. Today, I'll be presenting our latest product, which is Wormhole Name Service. Wormhole Name Service is the first ever unified multi-chain decentralized identity and naming solutions for all blockchains. And the problem we are trying to solve is that users need different addresses and identities for each blockchains. There's also a problem of long alphanumeric addresses, which are error-prone and user unfriendly. And also, existing name services like ENS, they are often chain-specific and siloed. So our solution is Wormhole Name Services. And the features of Wormhole Name Services include a unified identity across all chains, interoperability, and simplified user experience, and efficient resource mapping across several wallet addresses across several chains, several domains, IPFS, hashes, and so many more. Our technical architecture involves the core layer, the resolution layer, the data storage layer, the interoperability layer, which was integrated with Wormhole, and security and governance layer, and the consumer layer. Now, our market opportunity stems from the increase in adoption of decentralized solutions across several networks, and the growing demand for cross-chain solutions to unify and connect all blockchains. So our competitive landscape involves ENS. ENS is popular, like you all know, but it is limited to Ethereum blockchain. Also, unstoppable domains is limited to certain blockchains. Now, we are building WNS, which will be accessible to lots of blockchains. So a user with a WNS name on Ethereum can also access the same domain name on Algorand, on Sui, on Optimism, on Base, on several other networks. So that is what we are building, and that is what sets us apart from all competitors, and that is what makes us different. And our revenue streams will be from the name registration and renewal fees, premium names, and from our tokenomics involves a native token which will be used for payment of fees across all chains. And our market strategy is partnership with several wallets, the apps, and blockchain networks for integration. Now, currently, we've sent several collaboration requests with several wallets on several exchanges that will be supporting on Ethereum, Sui, Algorand, Near, Aptos, and so many more. So we've contacted several DeFi solutions, and also community engagement. We're also building a very strong community across several blockchains. And our roadmap, now we intend to launch the beta testnet very soon. Then the phase 2 will involve the mainnet launch. Now phase 3 will involve expansion to other chains, and also what we are also building, which will make it the ENS compatibility module, which will make it to be integratable with other name services like ENS. So if you have an ENS account, you can also be able to resolve the domain name in other blockchains too. So the phase 4 includes the full DAO governance implementation and the launch of SDKs for all supported chains. And our team members, we are 4 in number. Tomiwa, me, I'm the founder. Elijah, John, and Abiodun. At Kiwi Protocol, we also built several cross-chain solutions, which you can also check out through our website and our Twitter account. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much. We have 2 pitches remaining. So next up, we have Maharaja presenting for Snap.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm X here. I'm excited to present my project, Snap. Farcaster, a decentralized Web3 social network having a user base around 854,000. Another cool project is Solana Blink. Expected, it has fewer users than the Farcaster. Twitter, one of the most popular Web2 platforms, has a massive 368 million users worldwide. The gap between Web2 and Web3 user bases is huge. Most people are still on the Web2 platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. To put everything into perspective, Farcaster user base is just 0.23% of the Twitter's total user base. The difference is huge, but what if we could bring the best of Web3 to where most people already are on Web2 platforms? This is where Snap comes in. Snap helps Web2 platforms like Twitter, Facebook to bring Web3 functionalities like blockchain transactions and smart contract interaction in the form of tweet for the Twitter and post for the Facebook. So let's jump to the demo. So the goal of the demo is to make cross-chain donation using Wormhole on Twitter as a post. People donate 1 USDC from Ethereum Sepolia to Optimum Sepolia. So you can customize your Snap by providing an image URL and the donation address where you want to receive the donation. Once you click on the Snap, save Snap, IPFS link will be generated on the bottom, which can be used on the Twitter as the post. You enter the amount of USDC to transfer. In this case, it's 1, and we click on the send. And the MetaMask will ask you to confirm the transaction. And the USDC will be transferred to the donation address you provided while building the Snap. So the conclusion is we are able to target mass audience on Web2 platforms to use Web3 functionalities and use Wormhole as a cross-chain transfer and bridging funds. Other use case might be onboarding Web2 users to Web3, referral bonus, mass audience reach on the Web2 platforms like X, Reddit, and the Facebook. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And last but not least, we have our final pitch of the day, and that is Bakeland, presented by Annabelle.
Hi, everyone. I want you to imagine experiencing crypto as a video game. That's what we do at Bakeland in a gist, right? So Bakeland is a top-down MMO where players across multiple chains fight each other to maximize their stash of buds, which is our token, right? And while our idea has been in the works for almost like a year now, a critical blocker has been access to real-time data across multiple networks without having to rely on a singular node of failure. Right? So I'm here today to showcase what Wormhole queries unlock for a multi-chain game such as ours. The vision behind Bakeland is to allow users to experience crypto as a video game, like I said, because crypto has its own lore, has its own cult-like communities, but these cult-like communities, again, lead to the fragmentation you see across multiple ecosystems, right? So this is not great for a retail user who wants to onboard to crypto because of this overwhelming, like, fragmented bunch of applications across multiple chains. And this is something I think half of crypto is trying to solve right now. And although Bakeland looks really casual, we're trying to solve this same problem, but from a different angle, because you just have so many infra-level players having things like chain abstraction, coordination layers, unification layers. But even though these will lead to benefits down the line, what we truly need are consumer applications which incentivize organic flow of value across these multiple chains. And we take inspiration from the past year because we see this as similar to the problem of that cross-platform gameplay solved. Because crossplay enabled the success of major titles such as Fortnite, Minecraft, Apex Legends, and it was solving the problem of these different interfaces to playing these sort of games, right? But the point is that we are in a similar situation in blockchain ecosystems now, where you should be able to hold your assets on one single chain and be able to access applications and especially tap into logic which can be executed on a different chain, while it's all like abstracted away for the user, right? So this not just unifies the interface level, but leads to increased distribution. Before I bore you further with all of the jargon, our game is a top-down universe where each and every chain has its unique game environment, where we try and highlight the native applications on that chain, as well as its distinct culture, because we feel like that's what sets crypto apart. It's very distinct, just this kind of exciting culture, this subculture within the internet, which people are curious about, but they just have difficulty onboarding to, right? So imagine a building for Uniswap, a Pump.Fun building, and especially maybe a Wormhole headquarters all inside our game. I think the GIF may not be visible, but yeah, I'll just share the link on the chat in case it's not, so that you guys can check it out. We have an incentivized testnet coming up where you'll all be able to play in multiplayer lobbies together. And to ensure the game's fun, we also have a range of PvP minigames such as this coming up. Diving deeper into the wormhole aspect, we realized that in order to like unify this fragmented interface, we need our smart contracts to be aware of what's happening on each and every other chain. So this is where wormhole queries was a total game changer, because now with that we can ensure real-time composability, which means that users save time and money otherwise spent bridging assets. Secondly, we have a unified game logic, which means that you play the same instance of the game regardless of which chain you're tuning in from, right? So this just solves the problem of having to even migrate your data across multiple chains. And thirdly, liquidity balancing. I think MultiChainDefi, another project, really loved your demo, by the way. You highlighted how, we need to be balancing liquidity across multiple chains, because that's one of the key issues when you have limited tokens, but multiple chains. And we also have a similar algorithm to solve for that. Lastly, I would say that this enables a whole new paradigm for GameFi, because now you can have games which can execute logic across multiple chains. And how we've used it is the farms you see. Say Bear Chain has its own farm here, and you as an Avalanche maxi can now raid the farm on Bear Chain and literally take a chunk out of its pool. So it's on-chain PvP dynamics across multiple chains, which we just haven't seen before. So I'll just condense it into the fact that wormhole queries now has enabled for us to build autonomous worlds across multiple chains. So yeah, please feel free to book a time if you'd like to try our demo, or in case you have any questions. Our Bear Chain campaign goes live very soon, so please stay tuned on our socials. I should have put this here, but you can find us on Bakeland XYZ on Twitter. So thanks.
Because coming up next, we have a short intermission where Urban is going to come on stage and explain a bit about the Sigma startup program. So I'm going to invite Urban up again. Thank you very much to our 10 finalists. We've got some really tough competition in this hackathon, as you can all see. We'll be finalizing the winners during this 10-minute period where Urban is going to be discussing Sigma.
All right, first of all, this was amazing. Just seeing and hearing all of these pitches is fantastic. I think people have really, really good ideas, really good execution on some projects, and I'm sure the competition is going to be very, very tight. So since we have a couple of minutes, the plan was to let everybody know what we're doing next, right? Because the Encode and Wormhole Hackathon is coming to an end, and we kind of like to keep the ball rolling. And what we're doing, I mean, we've been doing this for a while, right? It maybe just wasn't public, but we've been like hustling for months on this. And it's finally come to fruition via a program that we call Sigma. So Rebecca, if you move on. There you go. So Sigma is a startup program, and it's very purposefully built as a startup program because, you know, pretty much of personal experiences, to be honest, right? We've all worked in the past with other hackathons, builder competitions, and so on, and we're really trying to optimize and to make things better for the Wormhole ecosystem. So Rebecca, if you move on to the next slide, you'll see that Sigma comes in three large parts, three components. There's Sigma Sprint, which is the we tend to call it the builder competition because it's, you know, it's got its nuances as opposed to a hackathon, and that is going to go live in a couple of days, actually, starting on October 14th. So we're going to start some pre-hackathon sessions next week. I really encourage people to register to receive these, you know, the information, the calendar, the participation guide, all of these resources that you're going to need to stay in the loop. So next week, we're starting with some sessions, but the actual building period starts on October 14th. Now, that's going to go on for a couple of weeks. We're going to go through the building, through the judging, and all that. And then we're going to hit Sigma Accelerate. This is actually a program done together with you guys in Code. So it's a 8-week accelerator program that actually spans, it goes past the New Year's, right? I think we have like a week or so in between. And then we're going to continue after New Year's as well. It should be ending towards the end of January, if I'm not mistaken, right? But the idea is really to take the best teams from Sigma Sprint and beyond, right? It's not completely locked down to the rest, but really to take the best teams and to provide them support and mentorship to go beyond just building the tech, right? An accelerator usually helps teams prepare on the VC pitch side, right? On the go-to-market strategy, kind of dive into marketing, business development strategies, all of these things that go beyond just building the tech. Now, the third component is, to me, the dearest, to be honest, right? Because the whole thing kind of starts to, it starts being tied together into one coherent piece. And that is what we currently call Sigma Seed. And Sigma Seed has been brought to life with help from our friends from Borderless Capital. We work with Borderless very, very closely. And they have managed to earmark $500,000 of funding, seed funding, for these teams. Now, obviously, investment is based on their due diligence and it's up to their discretion, right? So we can't really promise anybody they're going to get an investment. But what this does is essentially, we want to create a journey for people coming into the ecosystem, trying out things, building things. Even established teams can be a part of Sigma Sprint, Sigma Accelerate, and then continuously keep on building, improving until you ultimately are essentially become an investable project, right? So helping guide teams throughout this this journey. So Rebecca, if you keep going on. If we go a little bit deeper into Sigma Sprint, like I said, it's meant to be, you know, it's a hackathon essentially, but we tend to call it a builder competition, builder challenge, because it really goes beyond just a hackathon. So, like I said, the whole Sigma Sprint, Sigma Accelerate, and then Sigma Seed, the whole program has over $1 million in prizes and seed funding, which is amazing, to be honest. Like, personally, I feel extremely privileged to be working in such an environment where we can actually put together incentives like these. So yeah, Rebecca, you can keep on going. All right. Like I said, this is the timeline. I spoke about this earlier as well. So we actually kick off registrations September 7th. And what I can do here right now is I can give you a live update on the registrations. So we just passed 2,700 registrations, which is just mind-blowing, to be honest, right? 2,710 people have registered up to this point. So the whole competition is turning out to be quite massive. I sincerely hope to see some of familiar faces from this event and from the Encode education series as well to participate there. But anyways, 14th of October until November 3rd, this is the building period. It's about 3 weeks long. And then we're going to try to do the judging in a week. We might extend that by a week or so, given that DEF CON is coming up and there's generally a lot happening. So yeah, Rebecca, you can move on. All right. So coming to the meat of it, how is Sigma Sprint actually set up? So there's kind of two ways for developers, founders, builders to come in and win prizes. One is via the main tracks and one is via the sponsor tracks. Now, these obviously work together and they're composable, right? So let's say you are building something on, multiple blockchains, multiple ecosystems that are also sponsors here. You can win multiple of these prizes, and you can still be eligible for a main track prize, which means that you're not going to get you're not going to become a millionaire from this hackathon, but it should provide some serious firepower if the team is serious and has built some amazing stuff. So it's definitely worth considering. And yeah, Rebecca, you can move on. All right, so on the main tracks, like I said, we've got a kind of sub-track that's called new projects, like we had with Encode right now, and the existing track, like we have here. The prizes are laid out in 4 milestones. So first to fifth, but laid out in 4 milestones. And I think this is the biggest nuance as compared to just, your usual hackathon, let's say, where we really want to see teams and developers, builders participating and building over a longer period of time. So it's great that you come in and you build an MVP or you slightly upgrade what you've been working on. But the reality is that anybody building something meaningful requires significant amount of time, right? This is nothing significant can be built just over a weekend. That's why we decided to lay out this prize structure in several milestones. There's like nuances to this and everything, but generally this is the layout for the main track. So Rebecca, if you move on. All right, we currently have 3 sponsors locked in, Solana and Soy on the gold level and Circle on the silver level. Potentially might be joining by 1 or 2 more, but we are purposefully keeping the sponsor involvement low so that it is more impactful, right? It is more visible. It's also easier for us, for the sponsors, for the developers, builders coming in. It's just easier to be managed. And honestly, I am super, super happy to have both Solana and Soy as gold sponsors and Circle coming in as silver, because we see on the Wormhole side, we see a lot of flow, we see a lot of activity, what's actually happening across these chains. And I can tell you that across these 3 partners, a big chunk of what's actually happening across the Web3 space, this is actually where the activity is. So I'm super, super happy that we have them on board, so that you guys as developers, builders, teams coming in, you actually can take advantage of this and also be financially incentivized to build on top of these ecosystems. So yeah, Rebecca, you can keep on moving. There you go. We also have other partners lined up. So if you go to the Sigma Sprint site, you'll see there's a ton of other partners as well. Google being one of the more prominent ones. I don't know if you've seen, but at Token 2049, we were actually on stage. Dan Vieser was on stage with Google Cloud, actually, announcing that Google has become a guardian in the Wormhole Guardian set. Now, this is fantastic news. And because we have that deep relationship with Google, they're also very, very keen to keep on working with us and with you guys on various different things. For this builder competition, Google is actually going to fast track the winners into their Google Web3 startup program. So they're also going to be doing some mentorship, some judging, some workshops. But generally, I think this is a huge value add for teams that are genuinely serious to keep on building. So yeah, huge thumbs up for Google being here. So Rebecca, you can keep on going. There we go. Now, on the community side, we've got a sub-program that we are calling Sigma Champions. I'm not going to go into details here. You can check it out in the register and check it out in the participation guide. And we have a bunch of local meetups spinning up. I think one in London prior to your conference, actually, the London conference that you guys are spinning up in October. One in Berlin, and then a couple across Southeast Asia. So a lot happening, a lot is in the works. But yeah, please register, and you should be fed all of these information via the participation guide and website as well. So yeah, Rebecca, you can move on. Now, On the educational front, we really, this goes back to some of the personal experience that we're getting, personal feedback that we're getting. A lot of teams are kind of asking for tech support, right? Help us build this kind of mentorship, how to architect our solutions and how to actually build it out. But a huge amount of questions and requests actually come on the non-technical side as well. So as you move through the program and as you participate in all of these sessions, you'll see that there's a lot on the tech side, a lot on the non-tech side, and a lot on the sponsor side as well. So all of these should be able to help teams, builders, developers, individuals to actually make meaningful progress and to give you really good insight into some of these topics. Yeah. I think we're coming to the end, right, Rebecca, if I'm not mistaken. There you go. I think that is pretty much it. I'd really encourage everybody, all of these things that I spoke about are available on all the websites that we have. Actually, let me share this. So the Sigma Startup Program website is here. And then if you go and click into the Sprint website, you should be able to see all of these things.
Thank you very much, Urban, and good timing because I've had it confirmed that our winners have been decided and updated. So I'm actually going to stop sharing my stream now. If you'd like to stay on stage to help me announce the winners, that would be great. I'm going to start the updated slideshow. Very exciting. Building suspense, taking my time. Unintentionally, it's just not loading.
You should tell a joke or two too.
Share the whole. More suspense. It's all intentional. Let's first announce, I'm pretty sure coming up first is the best new project, and our top 3 winners in this are Wormhole Name Services coming in first, MultiChainDefi coming second, and Worm Deployer coming third. So massive congratulations to you guys.
Woo! Yay.
Yeah. And now moving on to best integration coming up next. Let's see who's won here. So number 1, we have Bakeland. Number 2, and I'm going to pronounce it correctly this time, we have Wormhole-aptos-native-token-transfer.
Yay, good job,
Rebecca. And third, we have zk-Lokomotive. So massive congratulations to you guys as well.
Yay, congrats.
So now moving on to the feedback bounties, we have 10 winners, 5 for the documentation and 5 for the product feedback. So those names are listed here for the documentation feedback. So massive congratulations to all of you. And the best product feedback winners are these 5 people as well. So a massive congratulations to all 16 of our winners. There were so many great submissions, but we've whittled it down, and it's really, really exciting. So Urban, do you have any final words?
Yeah, I actually, I was, when you guys initially reached out to us saying, hey, we've got submissions are in, right, and we're sending those over, I was blown away. I was literally blown away. I think in total, including the feedback bounties, there were 100 submissions, which is incredible. I was absolutely blown away. And obviously the projects were all really tight as far as I know. And the feedback submissions that we got on the projects and the documentation were actually extremely valuable. Like I'm super, super happy we did this. I feel like especially on the documentation side, there's obviously always that we want to continuously improve and we want to continuously get better so that, there's less friction for developers coming in. So this was all really good. And obviously on the product and just like the project submissions were fantastic. So yeah, huge thumbs up from my end. I was really, really impressed. Congratulations to everybody who won. This is fantastic. Again, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm very, very happy to chat with everybody. And huge thank you to Encode to just putting this together. It's massive.
It's very exciting. Okay, so It should be noted that all prizes are tentative and can be altered. Coming up now, we're going to have a commemorative photo with all of our finalists.
Everyone keep sprinting.
Yay. Cool.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for
Enjoy the
taking
rest of your
part.
day.
Bye.